Hello, welcome to the 9th edition of Games Broadcast and Bullshit. My name is Wendy, known as Bravo Chick on the internets mainly, twitch.tv/BravoChick, BravoChick10 on Twitter and on Instagram. And over here is my lovely co-host, Nick. How's it going, Nick?
Oh, it's not going too bad. It's actually going pretty good.
Good.
I'm Nick, also known as Nickinator15 on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, and then the real Nickinator on Instagram. Sorry, I gotta think of all these damn sites I'm on, but
all the sites, yeah.
Yeah, it's always a struggle.
You're more dedicated than I am. I'm not on YouTube and I'm not on TikTok. But you haven't done a TikTok video in quite a while, have you?
Correct. I haven't actually posted on TikTok in a while. I've been more focusing on my Twitch and YouTube content, but who knows? We might make a comeback at some point, but no promises on that front.
Yeah, you've got a lot on your plate right now, so something had to get, fall to the wayside.
Yeah.
But last episode, we kind of covered how times are changing on Twitch, and we talked about some Cyberpunk DLC. And I believe, like we were talking just a few minutes ago, how Twitch is catching some hate today. You want to tell us something a little bit about that?
Yeah, there's been some drama, if you will, going on about Twitch. A lot of people are talking about it. Actually, I think it's the #1 trending thing almost worldwide or something today. So
wow.
And it's been like that all day. So
That's pretty crazy.
Pretty wild. Most of it is just drama. So we're not going to get too much into it because personally, I don't really care much for drama.
I don't do drama either.
Yeah, but I'm just going to go over maybe what it means to you as a viewer or even a small content creator.
There you go.
Doesn't really change a whole lot. It's mostly to do with the main big things and whatnot. You can still go on Twitch, you can still stream, and life will still be the same. But
right.
There's just some changes. I think one they made to gambling, where they are banning people who are gambling on a site that's not approved under the laws in the country.
Right.
So there's a lot of, streamers that were playing on gambling sites and using like referral codes and all that stuff and basically getting kids onto these gambling sites. And, we don't want that kind of stuff. So it's kind of putting out a bad image on Twitch to be like a gambling thing, right?
Yeah, like adding on to that, I kind of feel the same way about these little mini games like, what's the one where you got the little things crawling at the bottom and you go into a battle? Apparently, like, that can be,
yes, I do know what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called.
Stream raiders or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's very predatory in nature because it's like, it shows these streamers with these crazy built-up profiles and, you can build it up over time or, you can get your mummy's credit card and, have it right then and there. So it's like a predatory thing, and I'm not trying to tell anyone what to do and what not to do on their stream, but you won't be seeing any of that in my little corner. I can guarantee you that.
Right. Yeah.
Because that doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah. So gambling, it's kind of one of those things that they want you to be of age to partake in gambling. And even then, it's such a dangerous thing to be part of, right? It's highly addictive, and we've seen many games actually kind of get involved in kind of the same thing with loot boxes. I think is kind of a gambling thing in my eyes. And I think there was actually a game. It was a country in Europe, I think, that banned the loot crate system in like FIFA or something. I think it was that. It was a couple years ago. So obviously, some governments are starting to crack down on some of the stuff, and
that's a good thing.
And now Twitch is kind of doing something,
cracking the whip as well. Yeah,
involved with that. But further on, they put out an announcement today talking about the revenue split with content creators. Basically, I'm pretty sure they're getting rid of the 70-30 split entirely. Actually, no, I take that back. I did read there's a 70-30 split for the first $100,000 you make. And then after that, they take 50-50, no matter what.
Well,
And that's
let me
only
just go ahead
if
and make that 100K real quick.
and that's if you're on a contract to get that 70-30 split, which you can
Right.
negotiate as a partner. So if you're an affiliate on Twitch, nothing
You're
changes
not.
for you. You're still stuck with the 50-50. And
I'm
yeah.
surprised that the number is that high that they're allowing you to go to 100,000. I thought it would just be like back down to 50-50 across the board. Except I thought they made a new like almost like a god tier level for partners that make the ungodly amounts of money. Your ninjas and whatnot streaming,
Right.
which I don't even think he streams anymore. But that's how much I pay attention to the big streamers. I usually like the medium to smaller communities.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, that sucks.
the whole revenue
Yeah,
thing on Twitch has been known that it's I'm pretty sure it's the lowest on any platform you can be on right now.
really.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why a lot of people you've seen have switched over to YouTube, to Facebook, to all these different platforms is because they're out there to make their money, right?
So not only are they the lowest paying, but then they come along and give a cut.
Yeah.
Seems like it should be going in the other direction. That's interesting.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like just think of them like Twitch makes money every which way you turn. Through ads, through bits, through subs. It's like the only like way that you can I think maybe the best way to support your favorite content creators is like donating or not I don't like that word, tipping them money directly because that cuts Twitch out of it. PayPal still gets their
Right.
cut or whatever other program, you Patreon or whatnot, but
It's very little.
yeah, it
They
is.
take like
Yeah,
maybe a 2 or 3% cut, right? And
yeah, and
so you're
I
still
don't know.
making 90 somewhat percent.
Right.
And most of the other platforms, like I think YouTube and stuff, they still give you a pretty good chunk. Like it's at least 70%, I think. So
That's yeah. But then you got to think too, like, is your audience if you started here on Twitch, is your audience going to follow you to YouTube? Because I don't think
yeah, that's one of the big
I've
things. Is more than likely not.
I've never watched a stream on YouTube, so I can't really comment on that. Well, I've watched some this week, but not like gaming. I was watching the Queen's funeral.
Yeah, most people, if they go on YouTube, they're watching videos because that's what the platform is. So
Right.
all these different platforms. So you got YouTube, that's like a video watching platform with live streaming capabilities. Twitch, on the other hand, is a live streaming service with video capabilities. But
That
it's,
no one watches.
yeah, it's not really used. Like even the clips. How often do you go on Twitch to watch clips? You're probably clipping to post on other platforms.
Yeah, usually like I'll know of a clip and I'll go search for that clip on whichever channel because I want to post it in Discord or
Yep.
send it to someone, but rarely do I go onto Twitch and be like, I'm gonna go look up Nick and Nita's clips today. It's like it's
Yeah.
not and as a broadcaster, it's fun to have those moments for your BRB screen and whatnot, but
Yeah, exactly.
no one is necessarily going onto Twitch to watch a VOD or to watch clips. Although I know a few people that do, like I'll finish watching the VOD tomorrow, and I'm like, okay. So
Yeah, no,
some
some
people
people are very
actually
dedicated.
do. Yeah, some people are very dedicated, and we are eternally grateful for those people.
And I do go on and watch some VODs too sometimes if, I'm trying to catch up on, certain content from some streamers.
Right.
Because maybe I had to dip out on their live stream or something, but I was, invested in what I was watching.
Right.
But it's only temporary, right? I'm only gonna go
Yeah,
watch
you're not
that,
gonna watch every VOD
and then that
type
VOD's
thing.
gonna be deleted anyway in 14 days if you're not a Prime or Turbo subscriber, right? So that lasts 60 days if you're a subscriber. So you got
Right.
2 months of content, and then your VODs are gone unless you highlight it. So
Or you like download it and send it to YouTube, which
yeah,
when I started streaming again last year, I had every intention to do that, to archive my streams, and I downloaded the first one, and then YouTube was like, this too big, can't do it. So I was like, well, I'm not going to edit this. I honestly can't be bothered. So now all that's lost, but I don't really care.
you can do up to 12
You know.
hours through YouTube.
It was 8 hours.
Maybe
That's
that was
what
a
I didn't
limitation before, but
understand.
nowadays you can do
A
12.
year ago? Like a year ago.
Yeah,
A year
that's
and some
weird. You
change.
should have been able to do it.
I thought so too.
There might be
It was
something I
like
know you have to do,
approximately 8 hours.
like some kind of verification on YouTube with like your email or something in order to unlock more than 15
maybe.
minutes of video or something. And Twitch, actually, I think you can export your videos straight from Twitch to YouTube, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I've looked at, I don't know, I'm YouTube dumb. I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. But anyhow, lots of stuff going on, and you know, Twitch is
Yeah,
getting a lot of flack. If you're interested,
which is good. I think it's good to give Twitch criticism. Sorry.
Yeah, 100%. It needs criticism. You know, it's technically not a small company by any stretch of the means. It's got Amazon behind it, right? And Amazon's
right.
the big decision maker for all this stuff. So,
One hair.
but yeah, if you want to, you know, catch up in all the drama and stuff, just look it up on Twitter. That's the drama bank right
Reddit,
there. So
I'm sure Reddit is archiving it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Twitter will get it first, and then Reddit is going to take all the stuff from Twitter and say, "Hey, look at all this crap."
On it. Yeah, all the stuff that can't be surmised, and you know, however many characters you can only put in a tweet, and then someone's gonna run with it and do like a 5,000-page essay on Reddit or something.
And then I'm pretty sure there's already TikToks about it too. So if you scroll through TikTok long enough, there's
there's gonna be YouTube videos of it. People are probably gonna be streaming about it in the just chatting section. So yeah,
look it up on your own watch. You know, I said what I wanted to say. I'm not gonna dive into the drama. So
yeah, I'm glad that you know, we brought it to the attention of the lovely podcast watchers and listeners. But anyway, so what have you been playing?
Oh, I've been more Factorio. Okay, come on now. But
surprise!
I've actually I'm starting to convert my Factorio stuff from stream and making it into a highlight video and putting it all onto YouTube. So I'm doing like a voiceover on top of explaining what I was doing and stuff, and then sometimes I cut to you know, me talking in the game and stuff, some funny moments and stuff. It's a whole different style of YouTube than I've ever done. So I was excited to try out and do, and basically I'm doing one highlight video per stream as an episode. So
okay, awesome.
So we'll see how it goes from there. So that's Space Exploration Factorio. It's probably going to be a series that's going to be a slow burner for a while. I'll probably be playing that game at least once a week. So, and then even if I take a break or something, I'm going to come back and keep playing that same save. So it's a slow burner. And then I've also played Metal Hellsinger. And so that game was announced at Gamescom. Or actually, I don't think it was announced at Gamescom.
It was at
least shown.
There was footage of it. There was footage of it shown.
Right.
And they had a concert or something at Gamescom for the people that did the music behind Metal Hellsinger, which is pretty cool.
So that game is it's like a rhythm game, basically. It's a rhythm fighting game. Almost more like a first-person shooter. And it's to metal music, which is not usually music I listen to, but you know, while playing this game, I'm sitting there, you know, jamming out a little bit and banging my head a little bit, and you know,
I want to eat your babies.
Yeah. But yeah,
I don't know how people do it. It would kill my vocal cords.
Yeah. Oh gosh, don't do that. All right, we just started. All right.
I know, right?
But yeah, it was a very fun game to, you know, just go along and, you know, shoot the monsters and stuff to the beat and everything. It was a very coolly laid out game. So I'm glad I played that game, and I'll probably go on it once in a while for like one of those filler games, you know.
How much was the game and how much content was there?
$30. I think $30 for the game.
It's not too bad.
I played for 4.5 hours, and I basically whipped through all the like arenas they have, basically.
Okay. So did you 100% it, or is that even a thing in that game?
That game technically does have a story. There is a story line and stuff in there, and yeah, I went through the entire thing.
Gotcha.
Though that game is not really a story game. It's not there for that. It's
a
meant
run
for
and
a
gun,
rhythm game.
Right. Yeah.
right? So you're gonna go on there and just it's like playing Beat Saber or Dance Revolution or something or
Dance Dance. When are we gonna see the Nickinator Dance Dance Revolution stream?
I got a Beat Saber stream planned, so that's
Oh,
coming up soon. Well, I
fun.
don't have it
Let's
planned
go.
yet, but it's in the works of being planned. So
It's in the works.
we
You're
hit a
planning
goal
on
on my
planning it.
stream, so I gotta do it. So
Hell yeah, looking
soon.
forward to it.
So it's gonna be that coming up. But there's also a game like I think it's called Audio Surf, which is similar to another rhythm game.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
yeah, and then I'm gonna let you talk about the other one that I've been playing
Okay.
as well.
All right. So I've been digging into some heavily modded ATS. I started a brand new profile with a lot of mods. I think it's like 90 plus mods, a lot of map mods, and I'm basically also with a harder economy mod, which makes it for someone that's been playing these, trucking simulator games for a very long time. It just brings some freshness to it. So it's a little bit more grindier, but I don't mind that because I've been playing these games a really long time.
Well, yeah,
There's
because like we
no
have profiles that have like billions of dollars now, right?
billions
So,
of dollars. Yeah.
yeah.
It's easy to get a cheat engine, hack a profile, have all the money in the world, have all the levels in the world, and you're good to go. I don't personally find anything wrong with that. If you need a profile to play multiplayer with your friends where everything's unlocked and
Oh
you
yeah.
want to just play, I think that's awesome. If you want to do that for single player, I don't quite understand it as much. I feel like you're gonna get bored of the game really quickly, but touche. That's your prerogative if you do so. Been playing some 7 Days to Die with my IRL good friend. I'm gonna call him Maverick. Maverick77. That's his Twitch name. And having some good fun with that. And we also dove into that wonderful pool known as PlateUp.
Yes. We did play PlateUp. And
Awesome game.
yeah, and I actually saw this game. I was watching somebody play when he had like early access to the game or something from the developers. And I
Yep.
was like, okay, it looks like a, neat game, but I never really gave it any thought.
Neither did I.
I noticed it had Twitch integration, which I thought was cool, but I'm like, okay, it's just another, Overcooked, which it really is. It's basically Overcooked.
Yeah.
You can have like 4-player co-op and you go in and you just make food, right? You put the ingredients together and you got to do it within time. Otherwise you
fail.
Yeah, you fail.
Miserably.
Which
I think
Overcooked
the
is
highest, the same.
the exact same. So
I think the highest level we made it to is 7,
yeah, day 7.
which is one that's basically like almost halfway. Well, a little over
Right.
halfway because it's like 15.
15,
So
yeah.
maybe, yeah. So it is not as easy as it looks. I don't think.
No.
Then again,
but we were
really
also
drunk. We were really
drinking.
drunk that night. Yeah. So
Yeah, I had quite a bit to drink, and I couldn't even make soup, is all I gotta say. So, but no, I had a good time. It was such a blast playing, and I do want to play that game again. I did
Yeah.
try to play it this past weekend for a second time, and was having some difficulties, but I haven't tried again. So, I'm gonna hope when
that was strange.
Yeah, I couldn't-
Just been your
we
internet.
couldn't get multiplayer working or something. So I just, after like 15 minutes of trying, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna come back to this another
Screw
time.
this.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Like, so yeah,
I
the
did-
Twitch
I
integration's really cool.
Yeah, I played a little bit with Fragged earlier this afternoon before I went and did my running around, and that was a lot of fun. It was interesting to see how other people play.
Right.
Like Fragged had some really good strats that I
Oh.
hope to use playing forward.
Nice. Hell yeah.
And also will be in the past for the podcast people, but I'm also playing that after the podcast with my good friend Rhino.
Nice.
But yeah. So what about some upcoming games? I know we're starting to get into the season of releases.
We are getting into that season. It's going to be wild. So many games coming out in the next little bit. Though Call of Duty starts its beta for PC tomorrow, which is the 22nd, and it runs all weekend long. The first 2 days are for people that have pre-ordered the game. I literally just hit pre-order because I'm like, you know what? I'm getting this game anyway, and to get access to the beta, I'm like, you know what? I wanna get access to the beta and see what the game is. If I don't like it, I can always refund it. If I'm like, yeah, no, right? So
That's funny because I'm pretty sure we were talking just a few weeks ago. Don't pre-order your games. People are pre-ordering the Harry Potter game, and it's like 6 months to release. And, just don't pre-order. But like, if there's a good reason to pre-order, like it comes with extra content or there's a beta, I don't see nothing.
well, I usually pre-order my games literally the day before they come out. Is when I think, you know what, whatever. This is basically, to me, it's almost like going to a midnight launch and getting a game, right? Is
Yeah,
pre-ordering the day before,
touche.
so I can just preload it right before it comes out, and then the moment it's released. If I'm going for a game like that, most games I don't even do that. Most games I do not have the time to be there for the moment it comes out.
Right.
But no, this game I just, you know what, I'm gonna, pre-order. I'm happy that it's on Steam at least. If it was through BattleNet, which the previous Call of Duties have been only through BattleNet, I probably wouldn't have done it, to be honest. So, but first 2 days are for people that pre-order, and then the last 2 days include
right.
people that are. It's like everybody can play. Anybody
Yeah,
can.
so I even seen like a code on my television through our cable provider. It was like, get free beta access starting tomorrow with our code. And I'm like, awesome.
Right.
Cool. And then I was like, oh, I can share that. But then I looked at it and you would need like our cable information.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to provide that information. So,
Yeah.
unless you want to pay the bill. Oh, man.
Well, yeah, no, I'm excited to get on that and check out the game. I've heard really good things about it. So I'm excited to try it out and see what my thoughts are. So
I know a lot of people are really looking forward to the new Call of Duty. For sure.
yeah. It's a Modern Warfare game, and when they released a Modern Warfare in 2019, which was the refresh they did, a lot of people love that game, and personally, I love that game too. So
Yeah, I think Modern Warfare is my Modern Warfare 2 is my nephew's favorite. So
oh yeah, so
I know it was a popular one.
oh yeah, very popular. I played that game like crazy, and I had my mom, you need to stop playing them games. You got to go to bed and go to school. I'm like, but Modern Warfare 2, I got to hit them trick shots, all right?
I'm going to be a professional Call of Duty player, Mama. I don't need that schooling.
Yeah, no, I was like 12 or 13 at the time, right? So, but yeah, such a good game. Such good memories, too, so.
October's coming up as well.
Yeah.
Spooky season.
So it's gonna be my horror game month. I'm gonna play so many horror games. It's gonna be great because I love horror games. And if there was a horror game that pick any horror game or something that you would play. I want to know what you would play for a horror game.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't really do horror. It's not a genre I'm interested in.
know.
It's not a genre I watch. Someone was in my stream a few days ago talking good things about Phasmophobia. I'll go with that one because I honestly, I don't. My circle does not include horror games, therefore I have no idea.
Phasmophobia is like a ghost hunting game where you got to figure out what ghost or something it is. It's yeah, I don't know. It's not a game I'm gonna be doing during my horror game thing probably. Because I've played that game in the past, and honestly I don't find it too crazy, and there's not like a story. It's not like a story horror game. So
I mean, I would trade Dick's first stream for a horror stream.
yeah,
I really, honest to goodness, would. I'm
gonna be playing all these horror games with that Dixper on, which for those of you who don't know what Dixper is, it's a third-party tool that you add onto your stream where people can launch skills at you. They're called skills, and they can do a variety of different things, like send jump scares. That's not just a sound thing, but it actually puts a physical jump scare on your screen over the game. Things like put your screen upside down and all sorts of crazy stuff.
How does like so when it puts the screen upside down, it's doing that for the player as well.
Yeah.
That's not just on the stream.
No, no,
That
no.
is interesting. I
Oh,
wonder
it's
how it
so
does
cool.
that.
Yeah, it like syncs with the game and it's able to. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So.
I mean,
Um,
cool isn't the word I would use for it, but I'm glad you feel that
oh,
way.
come on now. Oh, come on. It's so much fun. Well, yeah, I'm excited to get into that. We're gonna be playing Resident Evil and you know.
That's why I don't play horror games. I played that long time ago, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't need to play
Yeah.
this anymore ever.
Well, I'm excited.
Because
I'm excited.
I don't really do horror movies either. My brother, it's like his will in life is, come on, we gotta watch this. Oh, you you're gonna come and you're gonna watch this scary movie with us. I'm like, I don't like that shit. He's like, but it's gonna be fun. I'm like, you just want to laugh your ass off at me when I like jump scare. Because the last set of horror films that I personally really got into were the paranormal activity. Like, I actually went to the theaters to see the paranormal activity films, just because I thought it was an interesting new way to do horror, and I found them fascinating. Not to mention that the
They
people in the
were.
theater, like, oh god, I was kind of like my brother in that regard. I looked forward to seeing them in the theater because people around us, they would talk, and god, it was just so funny. Like, I remember there was these three girls sitting behind us, and they were like, oh, what's happening? Oh, what's happening? Oh no, he's swinging on the chandelier. Oh, it's swinging. Oh no, I gotta get out of here. And it was just, it's like that for the whole film. And it's like, I enjoy I enjoyed their reaction more than I was enjoying like the movie. Like, it was worth it to go see it in theater because of
Right.
these people that I'm surrounded by were just freaking
Yeah.
hilarious. So
Nice.
usually I don't condone talking in the theater. Like, I am that person that'll be like, put your phone away. It's ruining my theater experience.
How
Like,
like when you
I
go
have
to a
said stuff like that
theater,
before.
when you go to a theater to watch a movie, like that's just the etiquette there is just don't pull out your phone, right? I always have like, just you keep the phone in the pocket, no sounds
Yeah.
on or anything, right? And you just enjoy the movie.
Yep.
If you want to do that, then there's ways to watch your movie at home.
Yeah,
Especially
and
nowadays, like I'm pretty sure movies are available to buy to watch at home right away.
almost right from the release,
Yeah.
right?
So,
Yeah, and like, I'll never forget one time I had taken my niece to see Rock of Ages at Fox Theater, like a live Broadway show. And we were sitting next to these like people who hold season tickets to the Fox Theater. Like, she was in her ball gown, she had furs, he had his tuxedo on. People behind us were talking, and she just turns around and goes, "Excuse me, thank you." And I was like, "Damn, that's kind of cool." Like, I was so glad she did it because they were getting on my nerves too.
yeah.
But yeah. But
It's
anyway,
it's crazy. Some people just, I don't know if it's ignorance or
they're not. I
something.
don't think they have spatial awareness because
Yeah.
literally people are like this, and it's like
Oh,
you pay money to go to this theater, and you still can't get away from doing this. And it's like,
right.
why did you're not gonna know a damn thing that happens in this movie as long as you got that phone stuck up on your nose. So, but that's just my point of view. But my phone comes out one time when I'm in the theater, and that's to silence it if I forget to silence it before.
Yeah, I'm on it during commercials for a bit to like, just make sure everything's
Oh
up to date
no,
and stuff.
I
And
love, like, that's part of my favorite things about going to the theater, seeing the previews for the other movies.
oh, like when it actually comes to like the nice previews and stuff, then yeah, it's away. But like sometimes when you first go in, like if you're really early,
Yeah, like,
they have
yeah.
like really there's not very. It's more on a
Right.
repeat thing. Like you see it all the
Yeah.
time, right?
And then you've got the thing, it's like, like it'll be popcorn and candy and Coca-Cola, and that kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, like,
yeah,
you may check your phone then if you wish,
Yeah.
but if you pull that phone out, I am going to judge you.
right.
In this
Yeah.
no judgment world we live in, I'm going to judge you, and I'm going to judge you very,
No
very
judgment.
harshly.
That's a load, all right. Whoever says that this world is a no judgment thing is just
But it's
full of lies.
It is very full of lies.
So
Sorry, like, let me turn my phone off right now. It's being rude. Anyway,
come on. I'm not judging.
not judging. I judge myself. How dare you have your phone on, while you're shooting a podcast.
Yeah, come on now.
But yeah.
That's definitely not in hand's reach.
Definitely not. Um,
So what
anyway,
were we
moving
talking
forward,
about?
I kind of took a side
Nah, that's
off
totally
of
cool. We're
like
here to.
it turned from horror games to horror movies to complaining about people in the theaters. So, getting back on here, one game that's out right now that I'm really thinking hard about is Construction Simulator. I have tried to put myself on a game buying moratorium because more than odds are likely that I'll buy the game and it'll sit in my Steam. Like I did that with the new fishing game. I've bought that on release and I've yet to even load it, much less play it.
Wow.
That being said, this construction simulator does look really good, and I'm thinking about it. So
It
maybe
does look good.
it looks really good. And
I
I
was
do
watching some
believe
more
it's
today.
multiplayer as well. Yeah,
Yep.
a friend of
Multiplayer.
mine and fellow streamer, Dirty Plays, I think he did 24 hours and didn't even plan to do 24 hours. It just happened because he was enjoying it that much. So it
Wow.
does look interesting to the simulator enjoyers out there like myself. It might be one to look at. You might like it.
Yeah, no, I've been definitely eyeing it a little bit myself, and we'll see. I'm definitely not gonna get it before this weekend because I'm
No.
probably more than likely gonna be glued to
Pew pew.
shooting people. Um, don't take that the wrong way in a video game, of course. But yeah,
Yes.
as for like the whole Steam game library and adding things to your library, yeah, mine's just become the museum
I had I
of untouched
I
things.
Yeah, because I buy new games and then I boot up the old ones. So it's
Yeah,
like, why? I've got so much money into my Steam and I play not even a third of it. Let's be honest here.
right.
Like out of 100 games, it's the same 7, 8 games loaded up time after time.
Yeah, I've definitely expanded a lot this year. I've played many different games, but then again, I've also bought quite a few games. So it's like I don't
Right.
know. I don't know. I'm trying to do better. I really am, but it's hard, especially when I get stuck to something like Factorial. So
Yeah, it's hard to
but,
find that balance.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But
Moving
construction sim.
on. Yeah. It's I believe construction sims of the past were a massive letdown. This one, I, s- I see a lot of people playing it, and I don't think a lot of people would be playing it if they weren't enjoying it. So,
Right.
and it
Um,
looks, like I said, it looks good, whereas others looked clunky and kind of not there. But this one looks good.
I've been watching a streamer a little bit. He's known to, if he doesn't think a game's good, like he tries out many different games. If he doesn't think a game's good, and he's not going to be streaming it for a second day, but he streamed it for a second day, like full day. So
Right.
that's usually a good sign.
And there were moments where my friend Dirty, he was getting frustrated with it because, yeah, it can be convoluted at times as to what you're supposed to do. But other than that, I feel like for the most part it's intuitive, but you may get hung up in some of the bits. But
Right.
overall, I think it looks like a good game, and it might be something I consider if my schedule ever opens up.
Yep, that's just it.
Yeah, right. Moving on to gaming news, Factorio is coming to the Nintendo Switch.
What?
And
It's wild.
Nick bought a Switch and was never heard from again.
No, 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 no. Not buying a Switch. Although I'd like a Switch, but it's not on my priority list.
Right.
Anywhere near the top. So I
I
would
feel
have
like
a
by the
Steam Deck
time,
before then.
yeah, I feel like by the time I get ready to buy a Switch, their next whatever is going to be out.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Nintendo doesn't release a console that often. Like I think the
True.
Switch has been out for a while, but they did like an updated Switch to like an OLED display or something. But the Nintendo Switch has been around for quite a few years now. So, but then again, you might be right. Might be by the time you are like going to the store to pick up a Switch or something, then you're gonna walk into the store and then you're gonna see an advertisement for a new one or something, new
For the
Nintendo
new,
console.
especially with, the holiday season coming up, Nintendo, which I feel like we would have heard
We
something
would have
by
heard.
now if, yeah, so maybe not, maybe
Yeah.
not. You might be safe.
But yeah, Factorio going to the Switch is actually huge for that game because it kind of puts that game out a lot more. and it's going to be one of those things that when I talk about Factorial, a lot more people might actually know what it is because it's a very
Yeah.
niche game. And
And one that they themselves can play. Like, can you play that on like an Xbox or a PlayStation?
no,
Is it no? So it's going to be Nintendo exclusive, perhaps when it comes to console.
basically, yeah. Um,
Interesting.
it's kind of like neat that they're going that way and putting on the handheld, but um, yeah, if I go out anywhere and talk to people about like video games and say that I play Factorial, most people probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So,
Right.
like, I don't think many people know about Factorial. That whole
It,
niche, the factory games. Like I said,
right.
it's a very niche,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
agree.
genre, even more so than trucking sim, in my opinion.
Oh, 100%. Which I never knew about the trekking games till I found Twitch. Same for Farming Simulator. I feel like, in regards, that's one thing Twitch does do well is shining light on some of these lesser known video games, which is pretty cool,
Yeah. Well,
you know.
we'll see. We'll see how it turns out and everything. It's interesting, but Factorial devs, I think, are very known for putting out a very polished product. So, like,
I
I'm pretty
agree.
sure Factorial is one of the most like best optimized games out there. Like you can run it on anything. So,
Well, that's good.
yeah,
And it's going to be ran on a Switch.
yeah,
SCS announces the 146 update for American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator will bring more content to Montana and the Iberia DLCs collectively, which is pretty cool. It's not going to be like a lot of new content, but just a little. And they're still pumping out screenshots and news of Texas. For a while now, I've been sternly set on the fact that we won't see Texas this year, but now I'm starting to think maybe we will.
I've always had.
Maybe we will.
I've always been thinking. I'm pretty sure it's going to come out December. I
November, late November, early
I
December.
think it's going to be the first or second week of December.
Okay.
That's what I'm banking on.
Specific.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna change. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Feels
Whatever. But
right, yeah. It feels like Wyoming came out late November last year, so I would say if it's gonna come out, it's gonna be late November, early December this year. If not, it could be, like not too far after the new year.
yeah, like they've been so many. Like I'm pretty sure there was tons of screenshots of Texas before they even released stuff of Montana. So
Is my cup leaking? Check that out. I don't think so. Not like Rockstar has been leaking here
hold on.
lately.
Can you put it up again? I didn't get a close enough look there. Oh, okay. Who
Look
the
at
heck is
that.
that on your cup? What?
Games, broadcasting, and bullshit merchandise you can find right in Nickinator's store.
Oh,
So yeah, be sure to get you some merch. Some
Yeah.
good, cool stuff, man.
hell yeah.
That logo on a jacket, on a cup. I think it's on a hat. It's on all kind of stuff.
Not on a hat. No, it is on a hat. You're right. It is on a
Yeah,
hat.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah.
I think it is on a hat.
I don't
We
even know what
talked
I'm
about
adding
it.
these days
I
anymore.
wish the only thing I wish is that it was like double logoed because as a lefty, I tend to hold my cups in my left hand.
Well, I can double logo
So
it.
yeah, can you double logo it? Because that
Oh,
would
yeah.
be cool. Then I'll get the double logo one for me
Oh,
and get
jeez.
this one to my mummy. Because my mummy wants one. She's like, "Ooh, that's so cute, and it's so light." I'm like, "Okay, I'll get you one."
Yeah, they're okay sized mugs. They're 8-ounce mugs, I think. So you get a good brew out of it. So
Perfect cup of coffee.
yeah,
Cup.
exactly. I have one for my own logo or something on there, and I use it. I have a rotation of mugs, so for coffee.
Oh yeah.
I got like 3 or 4 mugs I rotate through, and it's always I rotate almost perfectly through them. So
You could have saved that for a truth and a lie. I never would have guessed you had a cup rotation.
that was a lie.
That's a lie. I don't have a cup rotation. I don't know what you're
But,
talking about.
But yeah, no, you're trying to talk about Rockstar leaks and all that
Yes.
stuff. So.
Talking about leaks. Grand Theft Auto 6 was leaked, and apparently it was confirmed.
Yeah, so the leaks were confirmed by Rockstar. Somebody was able to breach the servers, I guess, of Rockstar. And,
Oh, I thought it was like a developer that did it.
Oh, was it? I don't know. I didn't even do all the reading on it. But I was pretty sure people said like the source code was leaked or something, which usually when a source code for a game is leaked, then, you know, they have to restart from scratch again. So, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They said development's continuing as planned, so I don't know.
I was gonna say, what I seen wasn't anything to write home to. Then again, it's probably very early development, so
But what it
you
did
know.
is it did confirm the previous leaks, which I assume were true anyway. When people said it was going to take place in like Miami, Vice City again.
That makes sense,
Yeah,
yeah.
they
Yeah, because there were palm trees and whatnot.
yeah they actually there was actually the logo or the writing on the police cars was Vice City PD. So
Oh, was it?
oh
I
yeah,
didn't look at it that
yeah.
very deep. I just glanced at them and thought, wow, this looks
Basically,
like shit.
all the game leaks from before were all completely confirmed, and we got a little bit of visuals too from it. So, like I said,
Almost.
I said Rockstar. I'm pretty sure they put out leaks like over time while they're developing and try
I
to get
was gonna
feedback.
say, like, was it like on purpose? You know what I
I
mean?
don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think this was on purpose at
But
all.
it's out there now. Well, it's kind of nice and reassuring knowing that they are working on it, which we all kind of figured they were.
Right. I don't think it was on purpose, and one of the reasons why is because, you know, Rockstar put out a big message, you know, like that, and it would have been debunked whether it was on purpose or not right away, because I feel like
Yeah.
there's so many employees at Rockstar, and there probably would
Oh
have been quite a
yeah.
few people that would have known about something like
They would have
this.
been
That
like, "This some bullshit.
yeah,
That's just some, candy ass shit going on
yeah.
right there."
But anyhow, I'm usually not one to get on board with tons of conspiracy theories anyway. So.
I like a good conspiracy theory.
Oh, they're really interesting. They're really interesting to hear about. But
I'm
I
not
don't
saying I
really jump on.
believe them, but I do entertain them because I think they're funny. Think how crazy some people can get.
Oh, I got one for you. You know what? The world's flat, eh?
If you say
The
so.
world's flat. And you want to know why?
Why?
70% of it is water. How much of it's carbonated?
What?
How much of it's
Are we even-
carbonated? So it's flat.
I guess none.
Yeah, it's not carbonated, so the world's flat, right? So
I do not understand that logic, but okay.
someone will get it. Come on now.
I
Anyhow.
don't.
Straight over the head. Logitech G Cloud handheld.
What does that even mean?
I just read about this today. I think it was actually announced today. It is a handheld device by Logitech, and it's going to be cloud-based. So it's not
So-
going to be ran locally. It's going to stream games from the cloud. We've seen cloud-based gaming before, right? We've seen.
Yeah.
I
So
think
this is
GeForce
basically-
Experience has something, and
This is basically like the Steam controller, but
yeah,
from your notes for Xbox games.
yeah. That's going to run the Xbox cloud games, is what it's going
Okay.
to run. There's
Well,
like
that's
there's a
interesting.
cloud service from Xbox already, that you can stream games like from the cloud, and it's going to be running all on that. So, but that's about
Okay.
as much as I've read on that. If you're interested in cloud streaming on a handheld device with Xbox games, there you go. Logitech G Cloud handheld.
I
is-
wonder if that's the future we're heading into. Like, will we, in the not too distant future, have, PCs that don't even have any kind of hard drive in it? It's just all going to be cloud based. That's going to be interesting.
We might. Definitely a thing that they're trying and continuing on and improving. But I still think it's going to be a little while before we see that.
It's like I've started getting quite the Amazon video library where I just buy movies, through Amazon, and it's just right there, which I have the option to download if I wish, but I usually just, screw it, I'm streaming it. But yeah, that's interesting.
I still heavily think that the world still needs a lot of improvements to the internet infrastructure, because we still, as collectively, even people on good internet, we still have connectivity issues all the time. We still see it from day to day to day to day.
Well, you gotta like compare the internet to like television. You know, when television first came around, it was there were even silent movies, and then it went to black and white little bitty television sets in your room, in your home, and you'd have one. And nowadays you could have a TV almost as big as your damn wall hanging on there, and you could have one in every room of your house if you so choose. Like if you compare the evolution of the television versus the evolution of the internet, I feel like the internet is still very much within its infancy. Like we
Right.
don't even we can't even comprehend the capacity of the internet yet.
Yeah. I will say the fiber optic lines is probably going to be the best thing we have for a long time, but it's running. It's the big, main areas that run all this stuff. I'm sure they need a lot of different equipment upgrades and different things, you know, fixed up in their end, because I think that's where most of the issues come from, is the back
Right.
end.
They have to lay down the infrastructure. So.
Yeah. But for internet line, I think fiber optics, where we're at right now. So, but that's my stance on cloud-based stuff. So it's gonna be a little while.
You got any gaming news for us there?
Yeah, actually, Assassin's Creed had a bit of announcement. They announced like 4 games, I think. There was one that has a name to it, and that's Assassin's Creed Mirage, and that's pretty much the only one I'm gonna really go out there and talk about right now a little bit. But the other ones were all code names, and they don't have a release date or anything. There's not any information on them, really.
But that suggests to me is they have the next 4.
Yeah, they have the next 4 lined up.
So there's going to be at least 4 more Assassin's
Right.
Creed. One this year, maybe another one next year, or whatnot.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, that's a game series that you can have basically unlimited games on if you so choose, because they've gone forward, backwards, all over the timeline, basically. I'm surprised we haven't had one that's in space yet. So
maybe that's the next one. Who knows?
We've seen pirates. We've seen what do you call it? Mythology
Medieval?
stuff. We've seen pyramids in there. We like all sorts of different things.
I remember the one with the pyramids.
There's I think in Paris or something, or what was, I think it was something like that. But it's wild, right? Like there's so many different timelines in Assassin's Creed. So Assassin's Creed Mirage, the only thing I didn't really read up too much about the story. I tend not to, because I like to just dive into the game and see what it's about. But all I read was it's going to be a little bit more linear. It's not a fully linear game, because obviously it wouldn't be an Assassin's Creed game then. But it's more going back to the roots instead of like the recent Assassin's Creed games where you can spend like 100 hours and still have things to unlock and do. It's kind of just dragged on in a big open world. So this one's not going to be a never-ending open world game. It's going to be, a little bit more linear and more laid out for us. So it's good to hear.
But they didn't. Yeah, so they didn't talk about like what may or may not be coming in the new one. They just said, "Oh yeah, new Assassin's Creed games coming in the pipeline."
No, there was a whole trailer on it, and I'm kind of bad at looking at some of this stuff, but
I feel like I don't know if I vocalized it, but I remember thinking at Gamescom, being a little surprised that there wasn't anything about a new Assassin's Creed, because it felt like, you should be seeing another, Assassin's Creed rolling around the block here pretty soon. So that's good to.
Apparently, you're a street thief. That sounds like every Assassin's Creed game that takes place in a city. But but yeah, we'll see. It looks neat, and I still have to play through a bunch of Assassin's Creed games, so I'm quite behind on the series. But I do know they're good games.
I've played them from time to time, never like loyally. It's usually at a friend's house, and it's like, "Ooh, you got the new Assassin's Creed, let's play a little bit," I don't think I've ever even purchased one personally, and I like them, but it's just never. I don't know. I'm very strange when it comes to video games.
I think my favorite was Black Flag. Such a good one. Such a good one.
I think a lot of people would agree with that. That's the pirate one, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that is their favorite. So how have your streams been lately?
Yeah, they've been good. I've been enjoying coming on and playing, Factorio, or we play PlateUp and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just been a good time and just
You did a
chilling.
little dinkum with Trucker.
Oh yeah, I picked up that game again. That was because we ended up playing that because PlateUp didn't work. So probably
Right.
probably not something I'm gonna play for another little while
A little bit.
with everything that's been going on in the gaming
Right.
world. So, but yeah, just
It's a fun game. It's a wonderfully done game, but I struggle finding the time to play it as well. Like I want
yeah,
to play it on stream, but then it's like, well, I'm gonna stream, so I may as well play, trucking or something like that.
right. I just been invested in the Factorial, right? So
Yeah.
if I could, I would just go on there and play that game all day, every day. But I gotta keep the balance, right? So
Something really strange happened last week. I started streaming American Truck Simulator and I went for like 15 hours. That was not planned at all.
that was so funny though. Like,
I was having such a good time and it was like, man, this is I don't know. It was like I don't it was just so much fun. I kept saying like one more load and I said it for like 6 times.
all I know is I was watching at night, and then I was like, all right, like I gotta get to bed, I gotta go sleep and stuff. So go do my thing, go to sleep, and I wake up and I seen Bravo reply to a tweet that I put out tagging her in from the previous day. I put it out when she was streaming. So I looked at it and it said 1 hour old. It was like an hour old. And I'm like, it's freaking 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm like,
Yeah,
it's
I
eight
was gonna
o'clock
say
where
the
she
sun
is.
the sun was up, yeah.
Yeah, it was 8 o'clock where, she is, and I'm got thinking, I'm like, there's no way she ended her stream then. There's no freaking way, right?
No
Because,
way.
and then I'm like, there's no way you're up because you don't wake up at that time. Especially if you've been streaming up till like 12 o'clock, I think is when I
Right.
went. Like, you wouldn't be up at 8 o'clock in the morning, putting out a tweet. So,
Right.
sure enough, I immediately went to Twitch, opened up your channel, and I seen your VOD was like 16 hours. I'm like, oh my God.
It wasn't even planned. It wasn't even planned. It just happened.
Yeah, so.
I thought like the possibility of doing 24 did cross my mind for a brief moment because you know how very opposed I am to that. But that's why I was like, man, I would love to see the look on like Nick's face when he wakes up and I'm still going. Like he'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. But like, and even then, I found with a 24-hour stream, it's not until you hit that 16-hour mark where it becomes the absolute worst is the last, like, actually, I think it's between, I find it between like 14 to 16 hours up until 22 hours. And the last couple
Yeah.
hours kind of pick up again, but
The like last or the one and only 24 I did, the first 20 hours went by so quickly and so fun, and then it's like I hit a wall in those last 4 hours.
there's usually a
It
wall
felt
somewhere
like
you
they
hit.
took forever, and I was like so tired. But
Yeah.
I did it. I don't ever plan to do a 24-hour. If it happens, it happens. But
Oh
I
boy.
don't ever plan to do one just because it's not good for your body. So
There's a lot of
yeah.
things that aren't good for your body, but
True, but
yeah. Anyhow, that's that. You did a long
Yeah.
stream. And it's funny because the day after, I ended up doing 16 and a half hours.
That's why he did it. He was like, "Oh, Bravo
No,
went
that's-
16 hours. Can't let her outdo me."
No, that's funny. I had no intentions on streaming that long. None at all. I was going about my day in Factorio, and I think I was at like 9 hours, and I'm like, I was thinking about ending soon. And then, sure enough, with this Dixper thing, one of the skills is also what you can get is a extend the stream 1 hour, and it's set as a legendary, so it's usually pretty hard to get one of these, right?
Right.
Well, Trucker DJ,
Oh my god.
he just kept laying them on me. He did one, so I'm like, okay, like what's another hour? That's nothing, right?
Right.
And then he did another one. I'm like, okay, 2 hours. Yeah, okay, we're good, we're good.
Sure.
And then the third one came along. I'm like,
Are you kidding me?
and I told him, I'm like, you're so lucky I got the day off tomorrow. Like, you're so lucky because, I'll commit to do it. Otherwise, I'd say, like, if I got school, then I'm sorry. I gotta have a cutoff somewhere, right?
Can't, right.
So then he did that, and then I think our Civic, my brother came in and added one or two, and then by the end they added 6 hours to the stream. So and I had to make a deal with them because Trucker had enough to make me do a 24-hour.
Oh my god.
So I made a deal with him because I did not want to do a 24-hour that night. I had to make a deal. I said, listen, I'll do this 16 hours, and then I'll stop. But in October, I'm going to do a 24-hour horror game stream. If I hit
Better
500
you than
followers.
me, my friend. Better you than me.
If I hit 500
so there
followers.
is a... Okay, so there is a...
I'm 4 away.
Oh, you're 4 away.
I'm 4 away.
You know, twitch.tv/NickandNader 15 if you want to catch that 24-hour horror game festival. There you go. You're welcome.
And if you're following, hit the unfollow button. It's going to be a battle between the people that are not followed and the people that are.
I'll go unfollow you right now. I'm just kidding. I couldn't do that. I would lay down my life. Like,
but yeah,
I can't.
I did not plan to one-up you or anything, but I did think that was very funny when I woke up and noticed that you did a long 16-hour stream because you always say I'm not any of that stuff. So anyhow,
right.
Anyhow, for streaming stuff, we kind of went over the whole drama thing and whatnot. So we don't have. This is where we would probably usually talk about Twitch, but anyhow,
we just let it flow. We have a script, but it's more of like guidelines, so it just flows as it flows.
Yeah, basically.
So you got any current interests right now outside of gaming or school?
Outside of gaming,
like you've got,
school, yeah, those are my two things right now. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like you have enough going on to be like, oh, I'm going to take up building ships in a bottle, or something like that.
Outside, yeah, I know. Like outside of like gaming and school, and sleeping, there's not a whole lot of time, right?
There you go. My hobby is sleeping. I hate it though. I wish I could go without sleeping.
Oh, it would be nice. Oh, it'd be so nice.
Just to have those extra 6 to 8 hours.
Right.
Mike, away from streaming, I have been socializing more. So I'll be away like Friday, Saturday this weekend, and then next weekend I'm away all weekend, and likely doing something the 2 weekends after that. So like I guess that's being more of a social person.
Right.
is like beyond gaming for me.
Yeah.
It's like I wanted a social life, but I didn't want it to overtake my life, but it kind of has, but that's okay, I guess.
Yeah, I'm like, in my eyes, like, thinking about socializing and stuff is, good in thought, and then I start doing it, and I'm like, I need my time again.
I know.
Get me away from all this stuff.
I know. It's like, this is cutting into my me time and my gaming time. Can we stop, please?
But yeah, exactly.
I'm enjoying getting out and whatnot.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah,
I've been trying to, watch some shows here and there, and keep on reading.
That is since we went from games, books, and BS to games, broadcast, and BS, reading has fallen off the table for me. And like, I didn't want it to. Like, I enjoy reading, and I really really enjoying what I'm reading right now. It's just like, when like. Before, I would make time. I'd be like, all right, I have to finish this, before the podcast. Whereas, like, now I don't have that deadline.
Yeah,
therefore, I'm like...
We don't have that anymore, I know.
Reading has kind of moved down the list as,
I know.
Things that need to be done.
I'm trying to keep it up there.
You're doing good. Yeah, you're doing good keeping up, right?
Well, it's not like I'm doing a book every 4 weeks now, but I did finish up the Percy Jackson series. I'm not even sure if I talked about that last podcast, but as of now, I'm probably a third to halfway through the next book in the Percy world, the universe, I guess. So I'm starting up the Heroes of the Olympus series, and longer books. They're 500 and something pages long instead of like 250 to 300 or something. And so I'm about a third to halfway through, and yeah, still loving them. So such good books. And actually, so the book I'm reading is called The Lost Hero. I've read it twice already. And this is my third time reading it. But I am coming across things that I didn't even remember anymore. So
Yeah.
it's a good refresh. There's a lot of things that I didn't even remember. And actually, it's really cool. So when I read that book before, I hadn't read the original Percy Jackson series before. And now that I've read the Percy Jackson, there's actually, it kind of incorporates a lot of stuff from before too. So it's good to see that connection now where I didn't get that before. So
It's like whenever I reread Harry Potter, even though I've read them 6 or 7 times over, it's like, oh, I'd forgotten about that. You know, so it's always fun, you know. That's how you know something's good. It's like, oh, that was so good, I want to watch it again, or I want to read it again.
yeah, exactly. A lot of people have that show that they'll go back and watch over and over and over again, or that book that they'll go
I have a
back and read
few.
again.
I have a few
So
shows that I do that with. In fact, I very much want to start Breaking Bad again, but I'm not gonna because we're supposed to be watching Stranger Things. I have yet to watch Stranger Things. Shame on me.
I've watched
But
one
you
episode.
have.
One
You're
episode.
one episode deep into Stranger
Actually,
Things.
1.5.
Oh, 1.5. Oh
Because I
boy.
fell asleep during the second one at some point, but about
Yeah,
one and
I
a
need
half.
to. I need to get started on that series.
Yeah, come on now. Because
I
I watched the
know.
one and you're like, damn it, now I'm gonna start falling behind. And I'm like, all right, so I haven't watched it since until you say that you're gonna start watching it. So
Well, no, like
no,
I can catch up.
no.
I will catch up. You better watch 5 episodes tonight, Mister Dom. Just kidding, but you know,
I would if I.
don't let me, hold you up or
No,
anything.
it's no big deal because I got lots of other things to do too, right? So it's not like I'm sitting there and being like,
I wish
can't
I
watch
could watch
Stranger Things tonight because Bravo hasn't or
Bravo.
Wendy.
Oh my God, Wendy.
So
So weird.
I always call you by Bravo.
I know.
It's just one of the things I go by like display name, like all the time. If I'm in a Discord call with somebody, I usually go by what they are in Discord. So used to calling you Bravo.
I tell people call me anything they want, just don't call me late for dinner or don't call me a damn Yankee. That's the only 2 things
There
you're
you
not
go.
allowed to call me in my life. I'll respond to pretty much anything.
All right, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, hey,
Hey, you did
I'm the
say
first
that.
to admit I can be a bitch. That's actually one of my favorite quotes from. So you're gonna get 2 quotes from me today, but one of my favorite quotes from Dolores Claiborne is sometimes being a bitch is all a woman has to hold on to in this world. Like I fucking love that quote. It's so good.
Well, goddamn. All right. So much passion in that quote. Damn.
Right? I agree.
Yeah.
It's true too.
Speaking of quotes,
Well, oh God. I watched, this sounds awful of me, but last Thursday, I was getting ready to, leave for my 4 days away at my friends that live on the lake. And I turn on the news and they're like, oh, the queen isn't doing so hot. She's not feeling too great. And then they talk about the family are going up there to her big, awesome castle up there in Scotland. And I'm like, oh no, she's at the jumping off place. She's getting ready to jump off. And I don't want to, it sounds awful to say I've been looking forward to her funeral. I haven't been looking forward to her death, but like the coverage of it because, I'm such a history nerd and all the pomp and circumstance that surrounds something as huge as, a monarch passing away, especially one that reigned for 70 years like she did. Like that is very,
I think the
not
second
normal.
longest reigning monarchy, right? So I think there was one
Well,
before.
Well, yeah,
was
like
longer.
she's the longest reigning English monarchy. There was one longer, but that was like King Louis when he was crowned at like 4 years old or
Yeah,
something
he was
like
crowned
that.
very young. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so I was like, man, at first I thought I'm going to miss all this coverage, but I didn't really at all because it was all last week, and then leading up to Monday when they finally laid her to rest. They said 250,000 people filed past her when she was resting at Westminster Hall. Like,
Wow.
wow. I honestly can't. There sometimes the queue got long enough to where you were going to be waiting 24 hours. I honestly can't say I would stand in a line to see. Like as far as we don't have royalty over here. I guess the second, the closest thing would be former presidents, and I don't think I would stand in a 24-hour line to see a former president lie in state. I just don't see it happening. That
Right.
being said, I feel like if I did live in London, I totally would have done it just for
Oh
the
yeah.
the history of it
Oh
all.
yeah. 100%. It is quite a moment to be part of. So, although, like, more than likely in our lifetime, we'll probably see another, royal funeral, just because the age now of the next passing
Yeah,
royalty
Charles
is,
is
yeah,
73,
right. So,
so
they're already up in age where the Queen Elizabeth was, a lot younger when she
yeah,
got
she was
handed it. So,
20 in her 20s,
yeah.
so yeah.
So,
A lot of speculation on how Charles is going to handle the monarchy. I keep hearing them say he wants to slim it down, whatever that means. And it's hard. It is really profoundly hard. One of the shows I have been watching recently, due to the current events, is I am rewatching The Crown for the second time. Wonderful show. I do think they take artistic licenses. I wouldn't take the show for verbatim, but they
right.
do cover a lot of the main events that happened during her lifetime and during her reign. I will say this: watching The Crown, I felt like before I ever really knew anything about the royal family, I didn't like Charles because Princess Diana. We cried when we heard that she passed away, just because she was bigger than life, and she was the people's princess and whatnot. And then so oh, Charles, f him, but after watching The Crown up to a point, you kind of feel sorry for him in the way his childhood was. He didn't I don't think he had that great of a childhood, but it's like you pity him, and then they get to the episodes with Diana, and then you're like, oh, fuck him, it's like, oh, never mind, I don't pity him anymore.
uh,
But yeah, so The Crown, and I watched the Emmys for the first time I think ever. I don't think I've ever been. I used to watch the Oscars until about 10 years ago. The Oscars are crap. They're not worth watching, in my humble opinion. The Emmys were really good. I enjoyed them. They were hosted by Keenan Thompson, you know, OG from all that. Known him ever since he was a little kid because we kind of grew up together. Um, he did a great job as a host, and some of the shows look really good. And I've started watching one that won a few Emmys called Abbott Elementary. If you are a fan of The Office or of Parks and Rec, this is shot in that same format, and it is so good.
is it now?
It Yeah, it follows teachers in this poor Philadelphia elementary
Oh,
school,
I gotta watch it.
and so it's pretty funny. It's the new season, I want to say, starts tonight on ABC, but you can watch the first season on Hulu, and that's how I'm watching it right now. It's really good. But
Nice.
there's some other shows on there, like hold on, let me refer to my phone. Quick
So
moment.
see, like, look at all the time she's putting into other shows, but when it comes to Stranger Things,
That's the only one I've really started. But like Ted Lasso cleaned up. Murderers in the Building. I really want to watch that because it has Steve Martin and the little funny guy. What's the one show that it just like ruled the night? It was like White Lotus or something like that. That show won so many Emmys, it's ridiculous. And I think it's a limited series on HBO, and I can't wait to dive into that. So
hell yeah.
I've got plenty of stuff to watch.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, I'm going to start on Stranger Things for sure, so we can get that one behind us.
right.
Although our friend Sintog said maybe we should wait until the final season next season, because if we watch it now, we're gonna get blue balls. So I guess it ends on quite the cliff, like they leave you hanging there a
What
little
doesn't end
bit.
on a cliff? Come on now.
This okay, touche.
They always got to do that to you. So then
Oh, I
you
know.
spend the next, like, you know, 10 months
6 months,
Yeah, I
yeah,
guess
like
it's however long until the next, set comes out, and you're just talking about it, right? So, they
yeah. I
got to
think
do that
that's
to you.
why binging is so popular.
Yeah. though. Like I find it hard to binge. I something about um just like usually when I watch TV or something, I'm probably in my bed laying down and watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be there like for that long. I cannot do an all day in bed watching TV. I can't do it.
I can if I'm sick. Um, but like not necessarily binging like over episode after episode, but waiting till some like I didn't watch any Breaking Bad when it was like coming out, week after week. It was all done and dusted except for the final season. Like it was all done and dusted. So I got to watch back after back after back after back. And I can't imagine, watching some of those season finales and having to wait till the next year and be like, oh my God, what's going to happen? That would have sucked.
Yeah, I never really had that a whole lot. I honestly, I didn't really have that a whole lot. Watching shows as they're coming out because by the time I got around to wanting to watch a show, there was already tons of seasons already out. So
Well, as I used to be a huge Walking Dead fan. I hung that show up years ago, but they every season, and they would do like a half season break, and on half season break you'd get cliffhanger, and then for the final episode you'd get a cliffhanger till the next season, which was usually a year away. So it isn't fun, but it's one of those things. It is what it is, I guess. I guess it's time to move on to quotes. What kind of quote you got this for this episode?
all right. So last time I had a quote from my book. This time I'm going back to my TikTok guy. It goes this: don't worry about your failures. Worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try.
Deep.
Think about that for a second. All right?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have failures in life, right? You're gonna go out in life and you're gonna
100%.
have failures, and some of them are gonna be small failures, and some of them are gonna be some pretty big failures. But that's okay. All right. Every time that you do fail, you more than likely probably learn something.
I think you learn more from your failures than you do your successes in life. I really, honest to goodness, do.
Right. So yeah, worry about the chances you miss when you don't even try. All right. So if you don't go out and try, you know, then nothing. You don't gain anything. Whereas if you do go out and try, and even if you do fail, you do gain something. So
Yeah,
so yeah,
I like
thought,
it.
thought I like that one.
Yeah, I thought I had another one for this week, but then I changed my mind. So the one I have I think applies very well to the time we live in, but we may hold different points of view, but it is in these times of stress and difficulty that we most need to remember that we have much more in common than there is dividing us, and that is a quote from the late Queen. And I think it speaks truth to power in the day we live in, People are so, consumed with what divides us versus, what we have in common. And
Yeah,
I think we should focus on more of what we have in common versus the division in life.
that's so true. There's always things out there to even help people divide amongst each other, right? So it's like
And
everyone just wants to throw shade everywhere, and
yeah, and be critical and not, they want to ignore the mirror and ignore their own faults
yeah,
and just
exactly.
go on the internet and hide behind a screen and criticize everything that they come across. Because, like,
Yeah,
if all the crap you see online, these people would never say to whoever it is they were criticizing face to face, It's like, the keyboard is your shield. Or the screen is your shield and the keyboard is your sword.
yeah.
And you're not afraid. But they wouldn't they wouldn't say 90% of the crap that's, we hear on the internet day to day. If they had to go say it to the person's face. So,
And like even like social media too, it was kind of designed to help bring us together, but it's quite doing the opposite. It's
it
kind of pushing
is.
everybody apart. It's making
Yeah.
these divisions between a whole bunch of different people. It's kind of doing the opposite of what it was
Yeah,
built to
like
do.
I remember when first MySpace. Oh, this is so cool. And then Facebook, and you're like, this is so awesome. You can keep up with your old classmates and your family and your friends and whatnot. and then it's a double-edged sword, and when bad actors realize they could use these platforms for their benefit, they have been, they're continuing to do it, and people are unfortunately sticking to that rather than enjoying the good side of it, which
Yeah.
I think personally I see Twitch for the most part as a good part of the internet, because it brings people I never would have met anywhere else together, and we always have a good time, and so I think that's good.
There's been
I'm not.
sometimes I go in the chat rooms, you know, I'm going on and, you know, I might be having a conversation or something. And then there's always, sometimes like there's people out there that, you know, I sit there, I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, back off. I got to, you know, back off because, you know, this is a chat room that's not necessarily mine, right? So,
Right.
and, you know, I want to
And
keep, when I go on the Twitch, this is like a open community for me, right? I want to go out there and just have a good time talking with, you know, other streamers. It's what
right,
I
yeah.
like to do.
Being a
And
part of others' communities, yeah.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's sometimes people are like, ugh, but that's all right. I
Yeah.
find the biggest thing though is there's a lot of people that are just uneducated. I think is one of the biggest issues we face right
Yep.
now is even like like kids go to school nowadays, but now they're glued to their phones and they don't like, even if they do teach anything, which the education system is a whole other topic to talk about, but
Yeah,
not
East
diving in,
versus West education should be
yeah,
a topic we cover sometimes, because I
yeah,
think that would be a really good talking point.
right. But like, you know, even with whatever they do teach, a lot of these kids don't even like get any
Comprehend
of
it.
it because they're on their phones. So,
Right.
you know,
Maybe we should move education to like a 15-second video on TikTok. Right?
yeah. And not just like, so it's not just like, you know, them being on phones and maybe like playing games or doing something distraction. It's what they're doing on phones is they're going on social media and they're learning a whole bunch of stuff that's not even
Not
not
right.
good. Like not good. A lot, like especially recently, like there's been a lot of stuff on the internet that's, you know, not good for younger generation to pick up on. You know, I think we talked about a certain guy. I don't even want to say his name anymore, so I'm just trying to bury it. So
Right. And like to a very young mind, they don't, unless they're specifically told this is uh hyper, hyperbolic, or they're just doing that for the likes.
yep,
They may think it's normal to do these things, and that's how
exactly.
you should treat people by, it's okay to treat people by going up and shouting nasty things at them in their chat room, or replying to them
Yeah,
nasty online, or hopping in a Call of Duty session and, saying all this disparaging bullcrap, because no one's told them that's not good,
yeah.
and
They
that's
see
not
this
the thing you
guy,
should do.
or woman or whoever it might be, right? They see this person online, and they see a whole bunch of other people are commenting and liking and stuff, and they go, "This is awesome. This is I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go do this, right? It's cool, right?" So they don't know right from wrong.
Yeah, my cousin's son, he tells her all the time he wants to be a YouTube star when he grows up. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah,
And he's glued to that phone and his television, and he plays his games, and that is their like most powerful tool. So I will give her and her husband credit. They are damn good parents. And when her sons put a toe out of line, that's the first thing goes away, is they take their video games and their phones, and that crushes them.
right.
So,
It's, you know, it's a way for discipline too, right? And for
100%.
parents, that can go like many different ways, you know, to discipline, however you
And then
choose.
on the other end, it's like the phone has turned into an automatic babysitter built right in,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate, but you do see a lot of that in today's age as well.
Yep, exactly. And, you know, that causes a whole bunch of other different concerns too with, you know, being raised. But
It's a problem that, stacks on stacks upon stacks upon stacks, it keeps building. until it's going to have to be a breaking point at some point or another.
It's hard though, you know. We're in this era where we got all this stuff coming at us, and it's kind of hard to keep up on it too, right?
Yeah, like
We don't know what to do
if
with it
you
all.
well that and like if you don't have a good head on your shoulders and know what to filter out, that it can be very dangerous and very bad for you, in my opinion.
Right. Well, anyhow,
Anyways,
quite a discussion there.
I got a lie and a truth for you.
Yeah, same.
All right.
Let's hear yours. Let's go.
All right. My first computer game was a sim game. My first computer game was a racing game.
First game was a sim game, or first game was a racing game? Here's my take, all right?
Okay.
My take is that sim games, back from when I know you started playing games, were not really a thing.
Sim City.
Oh, I know. SimCity was a good one. I remember playing SimCity. The racing games were where it was at.
Yeah.
Racing games were really where it was at back in the, the day. I remember even nowadays they still got those old game things like set up in movie theaters and stuff and whatnot. You go up and...
I should preface this. The first game I bought.
Oh, first game you bought, huh?
First computer game I bought.
I don't know. I'm going to go with racing game.
You would be correct. Jeebus. I can't remember the last time I think you only missed the first episode on that. On the billboard and what was it, television or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, the billboard I did not get.
I think you've been pretty legit on the last. Yeah, my first racing game I purchased was a Corvette game. And it was like a 1-to-1 scale model of San Francisco, so it was really cool. It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. No, like racing games were like huge.
Phenomenal.
Even more so than they are nowadays, right? I like racing games. So many people would play a racing game way back, especially in the early 2000s. I think was probably one of the biggest eras for racing games. Need for Speed had a lot of good games in the early 2000s, and even in the 90s, before I was born.
Yeah, we had a racing game for the original Nintendo.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it was called anymore, but man, it was so fun. God, it was so fun.
Hell
it was
yeah.
a blast.
Well,
and then I remember this Baja game. Yeah, let me share this with you.
Yeah,
There's this Baja game.
Please do.
I think it was for the Super Nintendo, but to accelerate was to press up on the D-pad, and we rented it and we played it. We had so much fun. Even my mom, she was in there playing with us. By the time we took it back to Blockbuster like 2 days later, our thumbs were killing us. But that game was so, like, every time they'd jump a hill, they'd go, arriba! And it was just it was so fun. Anyway, what is your
You do
line?
know, even with, D-pad, it's one button, right? But the harder you press, the faster you're going to go. It's the same with the W key on the keyboard, right?
Well, yeah, it's like, you're back then it was A and B, and it's like, what does this push up on the D-pad? And then, you didn't have a joystick, so you're pressing up and you're trying to turn. It was interesting.
Yeah, I remember Mario Kart, you press A or something to, for your cart to go and whatnot. And good times. But yeah, so here, I've lived in more than 3 places in my life. So I'm going to say like 3 houses. And spaghetti is my favorite dish.
I feel like this is a trick. Like, you haven't lived in 3, you've lived in 4, you lived in 2. And spaghetti is really popular. Like, my nieces and nephew absolutely love my spaghetti, and they're around your age.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna go with the spaghetti.
Is true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I've loved spaghetti for a long time, even though it's so good. My mom makes it so good. So good. If I go out to places or, where whatever, I probably won't get spaghetti.
It's one of those dishes. Yeah, like my nieces and nephew would say like, no one's spaghetti's like yours, Aunt Wendy, and I'm like, I know.
Though I love
Because
so
I don't just
many.
open a jar. I actually kind of go homemade with it.
Yeah, exactly. But I love so many different dishes. It was hard to pick, but it's probably been one of my
Yeah,
favorites for a long time.
spaghetti's up there on my list too.
My mom would just know to make it for my birthday every year, so
Oh.
good times. But nowadays, as I growing up, I ask for different stuff that's a little bit more healthy. So, but anyhow, lived in more than 3 places. Yeah, that's a lie because I've lived in exactly 3.
Oh, okay. I had a feeling that was the trick one. I was like,
I've been 3 different. This is my 3rd house, so
okay.
but not
Nice.
more than 3.
All right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have anything else.
Neither do I. That was I think we covered a good bit that episode.
I
And
got
I'll forget
topics that would
about,
take up a good time, but we've hit the hour and a half almost here, so
yeah.
right. So
Yeah, the East educational system versus the West would be a fascinating topic.
one of
I
these
could go on.
one of these episodes is going to be like a big debate or something.
Right, yeah.
Although it's kind of hard because we kind of agree on a lot of things. So
We do share a lot of agreements.
yeah, there's a lot of agreements on a lot of different things. So who knows? We have had discussions, between us two, but one of these days we're gonna have to bring these discussions out onto the podcast.
Yeah, sometimes our Discord DMs, like, it's
Oh
like this
yeah,
whole list, and it's all like one big conversation on some kind of random topic.
yeah. Like there's one on like companies, like big corporations, and one was on like
The recent
government
one
and
was on like government as it
yeah,
pertains to education. Like, we get into this some really good conversations. I don't know if they'd fit this format, but fuck it, it's our podcast. We do what we want.
exactly. Oh yeah.
But anyway, I enjoyed it. Be sure to send in your questions or comments to gbbspodcast@gmail.com. We'll read them on the next episode.
Or even
Which
to
will
make it even easiasier, if you want to reach out to us on social media, maybe you don't know how to send an email because maybe
Yeah.
we're in that kind of day and age where
tweet at
emails
us
are
at
outdated.
RobertChick10. Yeah.
Yeah, just send us
I
a
hate
tweet
email
and
anyway.
say and put hashtag GBBS so we know it as
There you go.
to do with the podcast, and then put in your question or whatever it may be. Do
Yeah.
it that way. Use social media.
Any kind of feedback. Drop by our streams. Tell us, what you thought of it. And if you are listening, be sure you leave us a good review and share it with your friends, because odds are if you like it, they will too.
Make your dog like listen on. Like I don't know,
There you
maybe
go.
put some headphones on your dog or something. They might have a good time. So
They might, yeah. We're going to have a hiatus, so
yes.
we'll be back October 12th for the next live recording.
Yeah, so in the 2 weeks when we should be doing this, I got a wedding I got to partake in. It's my sister's wedding I'm going to, so
Congratulations to sister.
yeah, I'm going to be going out and I got to fly out cuz she lives a little bit of a distance, so I got to fly out there and partake in a wedding. So, we're going to just
Awesome.
have that week off, but we'll be there the following week. So,
Compliments to
the-
bride. Absolutely. Have a good time. Weddings are fun.
yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be my first wedding that I'm actually being a
Yeah.
part of, so
Oh, weddings are fun. It's going to be a good time.
I'm excited.
Yeah, you're flying for the first time too, right?
Flying for the first time on 2 different airplanes because it's a layover.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm jealous because I'm still yet to fly. I swear I'm just
know.
gonna like fly to Nashville and fly back to Atlanta or something
Yeah,
like
just
that,
for, like,
so
the
I can say I
experience.
did it. Yeah, like actually, no, a friend of mine in Alabama did just that. Like, he flew to like Fort Lauderdale or something like that in Florida, stayed 9 hours and flew back.
Hell yeah. But, no, I'm excited to go on an airplane, even though I think it's like a 2-hour flight. So
Still, though, that's such an experience. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
oh yeah. So anyhow, we'll catch you guys there in 3 weeks from now.
Yep.
Anyhow, it's been us. It's been you. It's been the podcast. It's
And the podcast, yep.
it's been a pleasure. It's been a slice, and
A slice.
We're gonna bounce
Is
on
that
out
what
here.
the kids are saying these days?
yeah, it's been a.
It's been a real slice, man.
So I've been Nickinator, also known as
I'm Bravo Chick.
or well like Nickinator 15. I
I'm
gotta get rid of
Bravo
those
Chick.
numbers.
or better known as Wendy, I guess. I think I respond faster to Bravo than I do Wendy these days. I swear.
Well, for me, like, there's so many Nicks in the world. I swear, Nick's such a common name that,
Yeah.
if someone like were to say Nickinator, and I'd be like, yeah, that's me. That's me.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
don't even.
I'm the Nick of which you seek.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Wendy. You don't hear Wendy very often. I was the only Wendy in my class,
I know a couple Wendy's actually.
and there were like 5 Ashleys.
Nice.
Anyway,
Ashley.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
that's a
bounce
pretty
on
common.
out of here, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
be-
Yeah. It
before
was
we
very
drag on
common
for
in
another
my
hour
generation.
and like 45 minutes or something.
That
so.
can easily happen.
So anyhow,
Yep.
we'll catch you guys later.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.